What's up, guys? Luke here from Spotlight on Spurs, and yet again we have another match preview. Yet again, it's another game that Spurs most likely won't win, but we're getting used to that, especially this season. However, the last time me and Kofi B met was quite a good day to be a Spurs fan.
I was like
For
this.
anyone that doesn't know, we were on the match watch along for the Europa League final, in which Kofi was very, very confident in. And towards the end of the game, it didn't quite go as planned. However, talking about that, the trajectory of the clubs has massively changed because we thought that was going to be the pinnacle of us going up and becoming bigger and better. And however,
Mm,
not quite worked out, my man. How are you doing anyway?
I'm good, man. Obviously, that day that you just referenced was a very dark day for me. Oh man, I don't even like talking about it. Obviously, I was happy for you because obviously I like you, so I was happy for you. But bro, I was broken, man. What is? We move on. Obviously, right now. And by the way, my name's Kofi B. Everyone. I do content on TikTok, Instagram, not just my United stuff, other stuff as well. So make sure you check it out. But right now, I'm feeling good, man. Obviously, new manager bounce. I don't know if it's a bounce or if we're actually good now. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see on Saturday. I think Saturday
Yep.
for me is the real test because obviously I feel like you guys are a bogey team right now. You've been beating us recently, and if we beat you guys, I'll start to get a bit giddy. You know what I mean? But right now I'm feeling good, man. Carrick's in. He's doing his thing. Can't complain, man.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good day. Obviously, it was a bit better for me, but it was a good day. It was obviously a pleasure to meet you. And guys, make sure you do go over because the TikTok account is banging football content.
Please
It's
follow.
not just Man United. It's everything. It's comparison of goals. Like it's brilliant. The links will be in the description below. Make sure you go over and sub. Some brilliant
Thank you,
stuff coming
bro.
out from my man. So make sure you do that. So match review. Obviously, Man United are at home in terms of just a bit of context going into the season, as I said, so I personally always felt that Amarim was holding Man United back. I always felt your best
Mm,
players weren't in their best positions, and the in continuation to just constantly be in that formation, I felt was a detriment to Man United. But
yeah,
obviously, at the start of the season, Amarim was the coach. You just come off of that poor result in the Champions League. In the Europa League, it was a poor league form for both sides last year. What were your hopes going into the season with obviously what was it 120 million pounds spent in the striker line and the forward
yeah.
line? What was your hopes going into the season?
I think we spent like over 200 million to be fair because we signed Sesko, Cunha, Mateus, Cunha, and Mbemo. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, it was.
yeah, so it must have been like 200 and something. But this season, honestly, I was quite optimistic. It's a good window, let's be honest. Two Premier League proven players, a young
Mm.
striker, which we needed. I was saying, listen, Amrim, I'm giving him this season, innit? Some people were trying to say sack him after the Europa League final. I thought, nah, give him at least one season to implement his strategy.
Yeah.
So I thought we'll get top four comfortably. But after like a month, I knew that wasn't going to happen. 'Cause, bro, it was clear that the players didn't buy into what Amrin was doing. You know what I mean? So, but
Mm.
going into it, I was confident. I can't lie to you. I thought top four confirmed. But as I said, after a few games, I knew that wasn't going to happen. So,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
what it is,
And
man.
then in terms of obviously where you're at now, and obviously Carrick coming in and the start to life under him, do you think that obviously the start of the season it looked like there was no chance, but now you've gone through a bit of a bad run under Amarin, but you're now on a decent run under Carrick. Do you think that that's realistic to go for that top four now?
Bro, listen, I'm saying we go for the title. I'm saying 12 points ain't too much. It's not too much, Luke. Come on, bro. Oh, we've seen it happen before. Okay, I'm being a bit giddy. But if Arsenal weren't in such good form, yeah, and I hate praising them, but if they weren't in such good form, I would say, listen, we can still go for second, first. But right now, I think top four, we should be aiming for that. Because Chelsea
Mm,
are a bit like us. They're good, they're okay, but they're not consistent. I feel like
yeah,
if we strike form, like we are right now, we can get that top four spot. Because Liverpool and Chelsea, for me, they're not, they ain't like that. You know what I mean?
mm,
They're not doing what Arsenal are doing. Even City, to be fair, even Villa as well. Like that, I feel like Arsenal are the only serious team right now, and it
they are.
pains me to say that. It
Yeah,
pains me. All Spurs fans, I'm sorry for saying that, but it pains me. But they're the only one that's actually having some structure and some stability. So I feel like we can get top four, man. I believe it's possible.
yeah. I completely agree on the Arsenal front. It's horrible to say, but the facts are is that the season's gonna be determined on what Arsenal do, not what others do. Like before, you could say City can go and win 12 on the bounce, and it don't matter how close you are, they're going to end up catching you and beating you. Whereas now it's like if Arsenal just remain consistent, then unfortunately it's the worst possible year, followed by the best possible year from Spurs last year, the worst one this year, knowing that they're going to end up taking the league.
But if they win it, bro, they're the worst Premier League winners ever, by the way. Just so that's our only saving grace.
100%. Even if it's not true, I'm agreeing with you. They are. It's absolutely woeful. That attack is going to be one of the worst to win it. I agree.
Can we even call it an attack?
Well, their top scorers like own goals and centre midfielders and centre backs. Mind you, Spurs can't say much with Van der Ven and Romero. We got our centre backs are on 20 GA. They're on 20 GA this season. So, hey, but it is what it is, I guess. So, in terms of like Man United, obviously the new system, obviously it's only relatively new, but who do you think is currently Man United's like best player and who's most likely to cause Spurs problems?
Obviously, you can look at players like Cunha and Romero, Ahmad, but for me, our best player has always been Bruno Fernandes. I feel like this guy is just he's actually underrated for me. Because people will still say, oh, he's not that good, he's not world-class, he gives the ball away, he moans. But, bro, this guy is a consistent world-class player, bro. I can't lie to you. I feel like with him and our team, anything is possible. I know I'm glazing a bit, but I just think Bruno, man, for what he's done for us, man, he's a United legend, and I feel like right now he's in the form of his life. This is probably the best form of Bruno since he's been here, to be honest with you. And I feel like he's getting better with age. So, yeah, man, I feel like right now Bruno's in great form. He's getting a lot of assists as well. He could break the assist record. Hopefully he does that, take it away from Henry. But, yeah, I feel like Bruno will cause you a lot of problems this week. And to be fair, normally against Tottenham, he does cause you problems. So I'm hoping that he does a lot for us on Saturday as well.
Yeah, it's weird with Bruno. There's almost like no balance to him on like fan views. It's almost like people think he's elite or people think he's terrible. And I'm like, but the numbers don't verify they're terrible. But I think that you're right. I think it's more the personality. A lot of people say like, if you're a young player, would you want to be in and around him like as a person and things like that? He does seem like he gets a little bit. He kind of gets a bit irate, arrogant. But the facts are,
let me tell you something about Bruno. Yeah, all the young players. If you ask them in interviews and that, who helps you in the first team, it's always Bruno. He's a real leader, bro. I feel like his PR is bad, but honestly, he's a great man to have in the dressing room. I promise you. And I'm not in the dressing room, but from what I've heard, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I find these things interesting, and we've got some questions coming up where it's from a Spurs point of view. What do you think? And I think we as a fan base and every club probably has it. Where I think if you went and spoke to most fans of the Premier League, they will all say the same thing about Bruno. You won't want young players learning from him. You won't want to be around it. But what you're saying is contradictory to what the belief is, and I think that's obviously because you're a lot closer to it. So, but I do agree. I think Bruno's a very good player on his day, and Spurs are struggling at the moment. So anyone.
Can I ask you, who do you think is our best player?
I think at the moment Bruno's probably your best player. I think that the stats don't lie. He is the best player, and I think if you would have asked me that just before you had Carrick and you had Amorim, there's no way I would have said Bruno, because I just feel like you've got a player there playing completely out of position, and all of all of his good stuff has been negated from. And I think that's where Amorim failed massively, was that sometimes you just need to get your best players in their best positions, and then they'll pull the team through. And I think that's exactly what's happening now. Like, even if you're struggling in certain areas, Bruno's going to pick up points and win you games by playing closer to that opposition goal. Literally. So I think he's the most influential player you've got for sure. But hey, Mbeumo, I wanted all summer. Cunha, I'd have definitely took. I think they're very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. And then moving on to the other side of things, who do you think Spurs' weak link is? Obviously, there's a lot of injuries, so you might not know who's definitely going to be playing or not. But just as a whole, in terms of the team that regularly is there, who do you think Spurs' weak link is?
This is going to be a bit of a shock to you, probably, but I feel like he's a good player, but he does give you a chance. I'm going to say Romero, because I do like Romero. I think he's actually a top centre-back, but he's just got that lack of concentration sometimes for a split second. And with our attacking players, bro, give us an inch, pause. We're going to take it. You know what I mean? So I feel like Romero, sometimes, I don't know, is it called a bozo gene? I don't want to call him a bozo, because I actually like him. But there's just certain times
it's where the gene where it appears on occasions. You're right.
Yeah, man. You see it in certain games, like, or he'll just either lose his head, like get a red card, do something crazy. So I feel like with him, if he can get in his head and try and get the better of him, especially without Van der Ven next to him, you know what I mean? So I would say Romero. Other than that, bro, I do actually think you have a good team. Like I like Spence. I like who else do I like?
Yeah, you like a lot of them. Yeah. Right, you like we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I don't think Spence is out for a month, so we are struggling at the moment. There's like 14 injuries, something
Can
like
you tell
that.
me all the injuries or the most notable injuries, please, just so I know, because I'm not too sure, you know.
So Kulusevski's obviously out, not played all season. Madison's out, hasn't played all season. Richarlison's now out, so there's no real option off the bench. Spence is out. Porro's out. Van der Ven's out. Yeah, Bentancur's out. Like there's literally that. Like we've got Kudos is out. Like we've just got so many. Like we've just got so many
players.
Yeah, so the Champions League, the last two Champions League games, we've had like 6 17-year-olds on the bench. And one's had to come on both times because we've got so many injuries. And that's why fans were so disappointed in the transfer window. Like we all knew that January is difficult, but the fact that we only got in Gallagher, who essentially replaced Bentancur because he's out for 3 months. And then we brought in a Brazilian left back who the next day we was linked to Andrew Robertson. So clearly we don't think he's ready right now. So essentially we came out of that window weaker than what we went into it, which is mad considering we're 14th. Like we're not, if we're top 4, top 3, then maybe you can say, look, we'll just see what we can do till the end of the season. But we're 14th, like we're really struggling. So, but we've got so many injuries. It's crazy. And same thing last year, right? Spurs have had this for 2 years now. It's just players constantly picking up injuries. Danso picked up an injury as well. So even the covering centre back.
So who's going to be at centre back? Romero and who?
Maybe Dragusin.
Oh,
so Dragusin had been out for 11 months and he had to play. I think he'd played something like 45 minutes in 2 games. And then we had to start him and he had to play like virtually the whole game in the Champions League because we have no other players to play.
How was he?
He was okay, to be honest with you. He got destroyed for the first couple of minutes. He got absolutely destroyed against City. Cherky run at him and then scored, and then he looked poor for their second goal. But from that moment, it's almost like he kind of gradually fed into the game. Obviously, it helped because we become more attacking and had less defensive like vulnerabilities and actions. But he got better. But he's been out for so long. Like he's not. You can tell that he's obviously a big guy as well, right? He's like 6'2", whatever. So it's going to take him a bit of while to get up to speed. But needs must. We've got no other choice. Both the right backs are out. Like it's just the injury crisis is just ridiculous. I would say it's unheard of, but it was heard of last year as well. So
can I ask a question about Spurs, just like in general? Yeah, like this is not really related to the game, but what's going on with Dane Scarlett? I know he's on loan now, but why doesn't he get like chances to play? Because I think he's class, man.
There's a lot of fans that think that he should have been playing, and I think that's what a lot of fans have got problems with, is that there's certain players that actually probably deserve to have a chance or at least have some sort of minutes, and they just haven't had it. So Dane Scarlett is a prime example. As I said, Richarlison's out, so we have no backup on the bench at all as a striker. And in the last game before Dane went out on loan, he came off the bench. So essentially he was second choice. And then we loaned him out. So I generally, Spurs have been terrible at managing youth players. They've been really, really bad at it. I know that United, you've just ended a run of like 700 games or something stupid where you've had youth players play in every single match or in every single match day squad or something like that.
I don't think it's ended though. Is it ended? I don't think it's ended.
I thought it ended a couple of weeks back. I might be wrong. I've just seen the stat and was just like, I would just love for Spurs to be in that situation. But we manage our youth players so poorly. He's gone out on loan. He's picked up an assist. But it's almost like Spurs fans just think that some of them are saying he should be playing. Others are saying that he shouldn't. And I think it's difficult, right? Because I don't think Spurs should be in a situation where we're even having this discussion. Scarlett is a decent player. He should have been loaned out successfully over the last few years, but he never has been. He's never gone to a team and actually played game after game. And that's the problem, is that he's not experienced in the men's league, because he goes on loan, he plays 5 games in a season or 5 games in half a season, and he comes back and then he's on the bench. He just needs to play games. But we're in a situation where we've got no strikers and he's gone out on loan. It's confusing. Like it's so confusing. Solanke's obviously was out for so long. There's no reason why he might come back in and pick up little niggles, or you've got to manage him correctly. Well, we don't have a choice. He's going to have to play basically every game, him or Mawani. They're gonna
Yeah,
have to play every game between the two of them.
yeah. One, he's not great either, is it? So
Yeah, he's
I
he's
hear it
not.
though.
In Champions League, he's been all right, but not in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so then moving on to the next question about Spurs. Is there any player, and again, there's so many out injured, so maybe you'll pick an injured player, but if you're looking at that Spurs team, is there any player in it that you think, yeah, that they could really trouble us? They could be a problem for us. Not just in this game, I just mean in general as an opposition fan.
There is one player that is fit that I am a bit afraid of. You can guess. Try and guess one player.
Solanke.
Yeah. Solanke's a very good player, man. We saw against Man City, bro. That one chance, that just flicked it in. I feel like with him, we can't give him chances in the box because he will score. He's a very good striker. Now he's back. I wish he wasn't fit for this game because he's the only player that I just think he can hurt us because he scored against us in the past. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He's a good goal scorer. He's proven it. So yeah, I'd say Solanke. Other than Solanke, honestly, not really. With all these injuries, man, I feel like we should be comfortably beating you. But Solanke is the one player that gives me a bit of jitters. You know what I mean?
He's definitely come in and made a massive improvement for Spurs. He's been able to
Man.
bring
You know, I've
bring
missed him a
players
lot.
into the game, so 100%. And then basically, just what are your thoughts on the upcoming game? You've obviously said probably about 5 times that you're going to smash us already. You've already got that in there a few times. But what are your thoughts on the upcoming games, and then give us your score predictions for the game as well.
All right, cool. First of all, I don't have no issue with Spurs, and I like Spurs. Other than the Europa League final, I feel like we're cool. You know, you gave us carrot back in the days. Thank you for that. But what I would say is this game, yeah, Berbatov as well. Big up Berbatov, man, my boy. But this game, honestly, with the way we're playing, the feel around the training ground, the feel at Old Trafford, the new manager bounce, not the new system, the 4-2-3-1, everyone playing in the right positions, the newfound confidence, I think we should be comfortably beating you. And I'm going to say this now, hot take, yeah? I think we're going to smoke you, and that will be Thomas Frank's last game.
Really?
Bro, he has to go, man. Come on, he's been terrible, man. He's been terrible.
I don't necessarily disagree. I think that actually a lot of fans have got off of his back since the window because they've realized just how difficult it is in terms of the board have let him down. Like they've let him down. I said when Frank was first linked that he was not the guy that should be coming in. And everything that we've seen, I wasn't expecting us to be this bad, but everything we've seen has shown me reasons why I didn't think he should have got the job in the first place. However, after January, when you're sitting there with these amount of injuries and you go and sign one player to come in, it's negligence. And I just feel like it doesn't matter who the manager is. Spurs are in a Spurs have got a problem.
Do you put any blame on the players? Because last year with Ange, you had similar results, basically similar squad. And now again, a new manager's come in and it's still the same results again. You're still down there with the 14th, 15th, 16th. So do you not put any blame on the players?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, very rarely is it down to one person where there's a problem, right? Whether it be that the players are not putting it in, whether they don't like the manager, whether they're just not performing, whatever that is. I think that the players, some of these players are not good enough. That's the simple facts of it. You don't finish 17th and then be 14th the next season if you're a great set of players. It just doesn't happen. So they have to take responsibility 100%. But exactly what you said about moving into the right system and the right formation. Again, the way Spurs operate is completely wrong. Last year under Ange, sometimes the football didn't reflect it, but his idea and philosophy is to go and press and win the ball high and front foot football, score goals and attack. We then went and hired a manager that does the complete opposite. So the players have learned a way of playing, and then we completely flip-flop from one to the other. And I understand, like Brennan Johnson last year was obviously he's not the best footballer, but he's a finisher who scores goals. And he was our top scorer last year. And then within 6 months, under a new manager, he's sold. Like that just proves to you how you're going from one system to another system where you got your top scorer last year now is sold within 6 months. It's because the system is so different, and that must be difficult as a player to constantly be playing under different attitudes, different ways of playing, and things like that. But some of them are not good enough, and that's not their fault. That just means that we have to do what Man United done. Players are not good enough. Okay, we'll go and sign Cunha. We go and sign Mbuemo. We go and sign Sesko. And that's what we needed to do. And we was told in the end of the summer that players like Savinho were the ones we wanted. We couldn't get them, so we're waiting and we'll go big in January. January's been and gone. Now, literally, Langer released an interview the day after the transfer window and said, we're going to go big in the summer. And it's like, we heard that 6 months ago. Like, when are you're just going to keep saying the same thing? So and that's the problem at Spurs. Like I think part of it is the player, part of it is the manager, most of it is the owners. But the facts is that we don't. Spurs have always known an attacking coach. They've always known a positive, forward-thinking coach. The nickname of the quote of the club is "To dare is to do," and we don't do that. We're happy to sit and defend and worry about oppositions and things like that. And it's just a problem. I think there's so much that's going wrong with this club, but I don't think Thomas Frank's the man. I think he will be gone at the end of the season, but I don't think he gets sacked before then, unless we lose like 5, 6, 7 on the trot. I don't see him going personally.
Fairs, man. I want to say one thing as well. Justice for Brennan Johnson, man. We need justice for him. I feel like for him, bro, he scored in the Europa League final for you guys. You know what I mean? And it's like, even last season before the final, he'll play well, he'll score, come up to the score, get benched. Even one of my closest friends is a Spurs fan. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, we should sell Brennan Johnson." I'm like, "Why would we sell someone that's a good squad player? He contributes, he don't moan, just plays and does well." And now you sold him to Palace. I don't think that was a good idea, man. Especially now with your injuries. I think that's a poor decision.
With Johnson, the problem is that he doesn't do a lot in the build-up. He doesn't get involved in the play enough. And for a team that wants to be an attacking team, then you want your players to be good on the ball, be able to take their man on, that sort of stuff. And Brennan doesn't really contribute like that. And maybe it's a tactics thing. But exactly. So the point I said when we sold Johnson during the window, I was on plenty of streams and I was going like, it's the wrong decision. Like, we shouldn't be selling him right now. And everyone was going, but he's not good enough. Like, we need to sell these sorts of players. And I'm like, okay, but who are we bringing in? And the answer is no one. So everyone told me we should sell him because he's useless, but your backup is nothing. Like, you can't, like, people can't understand that as a professional footballer, you're not completely useless. Because if you was, you wouldn't have got 18 goals last year. He's not completely useless. He's useful in a certain system, certain tactic, maybe. But if your option is either him or nobody, like, the 35 million doesn't help me. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help the fans. Like, we don't care about that. So the money's irrelevant. But we brought in nobody. So we're now at a worse situation than, as I said, we entered the window because we had 2 right wingers. We had Kudus and we had Johnson. And now Kudus is injured and Johnson's sold. So now we've got no right wingers. Like, it's just crazy. And this is why when people talk about buying and selling players, I'm like, at Spurs, it's different. Because if we say we're going to sell someone, then we're probably not going to bring them in. Son is another example. You lose Son, you lose your captain. Who do you bring in to replace him? Nobody. And Spurs do this too frequently, which I think is one of the reasons why we've been 17th and currently 14th in the Premier League, unfortunately. Score prediction then. What did you say?
I'm saying 4-0.
4-1.
4-1.
Solanke scores.
Solanke get a little head like, nick it in.
I'm not feeling very confident, I'll be honest. I'm hoping that Spurs can maybe, just potentially, you guys have obviously struggled a little bit for form and for consistency. I'm hoping that all of the players get a little bit arrogant and potentially get overconfident because of the injuries that we've got and everything else. And the only thing I can really draw positives from is that Frank is better when the opposition dominate. And I think you being at home, you being in good form, obviously the attacking players scoring goals, you're going to have more of the ball. And maybe that plays into our hands a little bit. But the injuries are difficult. So I'm going very optimistic to all draw. But I have a feeling that it could be a difficult day for Spurs. And then the last question, and obviously a massive thank you for coming on, guys. As I say, if you haven't already, please click the links below and go follow Kofi. Where in the league do Spurs and Man United finish? We already know you said top 4 for United.
I'm gonna say United first. Spurs. All right, cool. Realistically, I'm gonna say United 4th. I think Spurs finish 10th.
So 4 places up. It's not. It is quite a bunched little group just above us. But we've obviously we had.
Let me say this as well. It's not disrespectful to Spurs because right now the Premier League, bro, the quality is high, man. You got teams like Everton, teams like Leeds, teams like Sunderland. Like, these teams are actually very good. Any day they can always beat. They can beat anyone on a day. So I feel like right now, you guys are just low on confidence, man. And you guys even drew with Man City, bro. Like, no one knows what's gonna happen. But
No,
if I had to
100%.
pick right now, I'm gonna say 10th.
We've got you guys. We've got Arsenal coming up. So we've got a very,
Please
very
beat
tough
them.
set of fixtures. Yeah, we've got a tough set of fixtures coming up. But then after that, that's when hopefully most of the players start returning, and then hopefully towards the end of the season we start picking up a little bit of form. It wouldn't surprise me if we stayed in and around this position for the next probably month or so, and then afterwards when we start getting players back, maybe we kick on a little bit. But again, maybe that's me being just a little bit hopeful being a Spurs fan. I can't be dealing with two bottom half finishes back to back.
Let me ask you one
Massive.
question.
Go on. Yeah.
First of all, you look like Ryan Mason a bit.
Ryan Mason. I've been told I sound like Declan Rice, and but never heard Ryan Mason. I'll take it.
Never one. That's a handsome lad, to be fair. But
I'll take a Mason.
Yeah, why not? Why not? He's a good lad. But last question: do you see Thomas Frank getting through this tough run of games you got?
Yeah, I think because of the window being so bad, I think most fans are going to point their anger at the ownership now. I think they've started to really realise under Ange. Obviously I was a big back of Ange, and everyone talks about the amount of money spent and everything else, but they completely forget that in the last 3 windows we got one player that improved the 11. In the January last year, that was when we had Van der Ven and Romero out for like 2 months. They got injured in mid-November. So we had 6 weeks to plan to bring in a centre back. We waited till February 2nd before a centre back came through the door. Like it's negligence on every level, and this has happened consistently. So I feel like a lot of fans have realised that a new manager will come in and probably play better football. Will they instantly pick up much better results? Probably not. Are they going to be able to start challenging at anywhere near the top table? No, because the players are not good enough and the club's not backing these players, like not backing the managers enough. We're not getting players over the line. We're not signing the right players. We're not, most of the time, we're not even signing players. So we've got clear holes in this squad and it's all over the pitch. And until we rectify that, we're going to struggle. Like you're asking a manager to come in and act like have miracles. It was different with United. I always felt United have some unbelievable players, and it was just trying to fit them into a system that worked. Like as I say, Cunha and Mbeumo, if you get them in positions, if they're in attacking situations, they're dangerous. They can score goals. Whereas with us, we don't really have goal scorers. Solanke's obviously had one really good year for goals, but outside of that, it's kind of mediocre. Kudus doesn't score goals. He's very creative, but he doesn't score goals. And then obviously there's so many players that are out injured, but and for so long as well, like Maddison and Kulusevski. You don't know how they're going to return. You can't just assume that they're going to return and be the players that they were. They've been out for 12 months. It's almost like, so it's a very, really, really difficult one. But I think Spurs are almost now just waiting till the summer already. We're literally sitting there thinking like, can we just get by and see what happens?
Though, man.
I know.
Last question, bro.
Yeah, go on.
Relegation. Do you think it's possible?
It's the same answer that we spoke about with Arsenal. It doesn't really matter what the other teams do. Spurs need to win something like 2 games in 15. That's all they need to win. Because then that means that the other teams have to go and win like half of their games. And they haven't, do you know what I mean? Like they have to go and win 7 out of 15 and they've not won 7 all year. So I don't really feel like I think like when you look at it, it's close, but when you break it down and say, well, how many wins does the other team have to get? They're just not going to get that many wins. Like West Ham are not going to go and win eight games from 15. Like they're not going to do it. So then, as I said, Spurs need to probably win like two, maybe 3 games, and then they'll be safe. Like there's absolutely no danger of that. But it's possible that we get dragged closer for the next couple of weeks because of the tough fixtures. Like I could realistically see us not getting any points against United. Obviously, we've got Arsenal then, so you could say maybe we don't pick anything up in the next, say, 3 games, and teams might pick up points. But then after that, hopefully, it gets a bit easier. Better players come back, and then, as I say, I don't think it's realistic, but I think it's very realistic next year.
Serious?
Yeah, I think if we carry on doing what we've been doing over the last few years, probably getting rid of players. Like I was only on stream last night and I was saying about Romero and Van der Ven. If we don't qualify for Europe this year, both of them are going to want to leave.
Yeah.
And then if they leave, you're not bringing in a player as good as them, because Spurs won't do that. We never do that. So we're bringing in players that are worse. And if they're worse, and we finished 17th and 14th last year, like this is the problem, is that it's not just about signing good players, it's about keeping your best ones. And I feel like if we keep doing this, what we're doing, then I feel like next year could be a real struggle.
Hey, listen, because I like you so much, I feel sorry for you, man. But hopefully Spurs do it for you, man. Seriously, man.
Listen, I'm hoping too. I'm hoping that Carrick comes in and turns it around for us by the end of the season.
I hope so.
But listen, guys, if you haven't, as I said, if you haven't already, please click the links below. Go follow Kofi on specifically TikTok. There are some brilliant videos over there, but all of his socials will be down there. Go and drop a follow, a like, comment, all of that good stuff. Really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the rest of the season. Obviously, not for the next game, but for the rest of the season. And last thing, as always, guys, come on, you Spurs. See you all later. Take care.
Take care.